Today is Wednesday, September 25th, 2019. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor, Island of the Idols, Episode 1.
Our first episode is titled, I Vote You Out, and That's It. That was spoken by Sandra.
We should have known that.
Yeah, we should have. I think you guessed it early on. You said it sounded like something she would say when we first saw it. I'm pretty sure you said that. But it was interesting how it comes up. But we'll get to that. Who did you have as safe? Let's set the stage.
Okay.
What were your picks for our fantasy league? So this goes to our context.
I had chosen the Orange Tribe to lose. They were primarily, I think I had Noura and Kellee and Dan and
You picked everyone on Vokai to be safe. And who did you have picked to be voted up?
I had Ronnie to go.
Ronnie to go.
Finally, after years and years, I finally got a first off.
I don't trust your perspective on this at all. I'm pretty sure that's happened recently. And
no, it has not happened recently. I told you to go back and check. Good.
Yeah.
You absolutely should, because you're wrong.
Okay, so for my safe picks, I too thought Lairo was going to lose, and I went with Elaine is safe, which caused some tense moments. Elizabeth is safe. Karishma is safe. Ronnie is safe, and my vote out choice was Tom.
He means Ronnie. We've been calling him Ronnie, so.
Ronnie and Tummy. Yeah.
Tummy.
Yes. I went with high risk. I made a high risk pick, but that's the filter for my view of this premiere episode.
See, high risk, you got popped.
That happens, yeah. That's why it's called high risk.
Yeah.
All right.
Bold.
So we get some early voiceovers from Elizabeth, Jack, and Aaron. And then we get the big Boston Rob Sandra moment. So Survivor School is in session. All hail Sandra and Boston Rob. They didn't say that, but that's what you're supposed to think, basically.
So far, it's okay for me.
And they were selling the twist and all that. Now, did you think, I asked you this when we were looking at some of the videos on the Survivor CBS channel, so I already know your answer, but when they were showing all this,
because I might not remember.
It was yesterday.
Well,
we'll circle back to how good your memory is on first out points.
Okay.
In reference to this, but so when they were showing those moments with Sandra and Boston Rob, did you think, where they were presenting their challenges there on Island of the Idols?
Okay, I know.
Did you think they were real? Or was that just for the camera, setting up the premise of the season?
I think they probably did do some promo stuff.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Maybe. Okay, your answer is a little different than the first time. Off the top of your head, you were like, oh, no, those were all real. And I thought there's something about those that seemed off.
I did not. And you asked me that just before the show started, not yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday when we were watching.
No, you asked me today.
No.
Right before the show started.
No, it was yesterday. Do you remember yesterday?
I do remember yesterday.
Watching the videos on the CBS channel.
Yeah, we watched a few.
That's where the clip was, and that's when I asked you when we were watching that.
You asked me today.
No.
Okay.
Your temporal sense is all out of whack.
Move along.
Okay, they sold the twist. Joanne bought it. She's in. She's ready. Okay, so we land at Lairo there on day one, unconventional. There's no propes to greet anyone to kick it off. Dan did not get his wish. He didn't get kicked off of a boat to start the season.
They didn't get any food to start the season either.
Yeah, didn't get to gather. Didn't have a chance at a hidden advantage or anything like that. It's basically, here, go to your beach and read your flag and figure it out from there.
They pulled up to the beach and said, get out.
Yeah.
Go that way.
Okay, so we're there with Lairo. We start with them, and Karishma tells us to say that she is excited is an understatement, but she's outwardly gonna try to be cool, calm, and collected. She said
that she's emotional, but she's gonna try to keep that under wraps.
Gonna bottle it, yeah. Because she's got some social gamesmanship she needs to work on.
Yeah, I don't think she'll have trouble with that too much.
Have trouble
because
with
of her line of work, keeping things under wraps.
Ah, okay.
She's used to hiding her feelings at work, I'm sure.
Well, you have to be guarded, yeah, when you're in battle in a courtroom like that.
I know. That's why I said I don't think she'll have a problem with that.
Okay. Chelsea, on the other hand, is over the moon. She's excited to see her tribe mates, and she's wondering, hey, where's Jeff?
And where's my marooning? She wanted one too.
Yeah. Oh, no, the theme mentions idols, so she's panicking a little bit. They don't usually mean good things from her perspective. That's an interesting take on it.
And Chelsea recognizes Elizabeth right away.
Yeah, she busted her, huh? You're an Olympian.
Yeah, and right in front of Karishma and Missy. And
yeah.
She's like, hey, weren't you in the Olympics?
Which was which came right after Elaine pointing out the sexy wood gathering moment that was going on at their camp.
And she even knew she was a swimmer.
Yep.
So pretty cool.
Elizabeth tells us that she's excited, and then her and Missy go off on a walk looking for something, and they discover that they are the same person. We got a lot of similar interests, so that was fun. I enjoyed that moment with them. And then Missy gets to tell her story about what happened to her with the tumor and in a confessional. We didn't get to see her sharing that with others yet.
I thought she did share it with somebody. Okay, over to the Purple Tribe. Lauren is very chatty, isn't she?
Yes.
I liked it. You had pointed this out before, but when Jamal said, "I'm Jamal," and they all went, Jamal.
All the women did, yeah. That was a good moment.
I liked that. You go, girls.
And he didn't seem to respond at all. He just let it go.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was cute because they all did it in unison. It was like, Jamal. It's got a cute name, too. That's cute. And Janet, right off the bat, girl, you go, girl. I can make fire. What's our priority?
She's worried about the stigma. She knows she's the older female, knows that does not go over well. And even though fire's not the number one important thing, she wants to jump in because it is such a standout moment, and she delivers.
Yep, she sure did.
She jumped on the bamboo saw, and I was a little concerned because I didn't think that she had the tender portion that you put in the bamboo where the edges are rubbing. It didn't look like she was missing sort of a piece to help collect the ember.
I guess not.
But she pulled it off like a champ, yeah. And she says, if you can prove who you are, the age doesn't matter. And she delivers fire, and fire represents life, so Janet's not going anywhere. That's our story right there. Yeah, what a great moment. She's already had a sensational superstar survivor moment. She took the risk, she jumped in, and she delivered.
First few minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like it was probably within the first hour on the beach.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And she wasn't done. Confessional, she drops a Liam Neeson quote. I have a special set of skills, and I know how to use them. Oh, that was awesome. Good job.
Okay, I didn't get the Liam Neeson reference, but I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, it was a movie quote. Yes, that was perfect.
Okay, back over to the Orange Tribe.
Vince is a hard worker.
Tom wants to know if he just got out of school. He's like, no, I'm 27. I may look young, but I'm 27. And I was surprised Tom kind of hit it off with Elaine and Vince right off the bat.
Well, they're the outliers. They're the visible outliers on their tribe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Age or physicality makes them visible outliers, and they ended up going off, and Vince was chopping down some bamboo, I think, was what they said. But they had a discussion, but it didn't go unnoticed, did it?
No, it did not. And that could have really hurt them badly.
That put the fear into me right out of the gate. It's like, oh, no, they're already after my USB vents. Good old Ronnie, he calls them out, and then they solidify and go, okay, well, there's 7 here, and there's 3 of them, and we're 7 strong, so we got this figured out.
Well, and I really like Elaine, so I was very disappointed that she was very drawn to working with Tom.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think he's going to end up hanging around that long.
Mm-hmm.
And
neither did I. Wrong. I had him picked to go home this episode. Yeah, this is like that that threesome there did not look good for my prospects at all.
Yep, and Aaron did not miss that. Those 3 disappeared for quite a long time now.
Yeah, he took up the call after Ronnie got the ball rolling.
7-3, that works.
Got the ball rolling. Yep.
Okay.
We bounce back over to Vokai, and Jamal tells us that it's going awesome. They got shelter, they got fire. It's going on at Vokai.
They're having fun. And Molly pointed out, where's Jason?
Well, just before that, Jason says, hey, there's time to look for idols, so I'm going to look. Yeah.
But Molly picks up on it.
Yes, she did, except Dan ends up pretending like it was him that noticed it. That's how it came across to me in the episode.
Well, that wasn't what it could have been that way, but that wasn't how it was showed to us.
He echoed Molly and then made it like it was him that was noticing it. Yeah. Even though Molly gets credit from somebody, I forget who it was. It might have been Lauren or Kellee who said, wow, you're very observant, when Molly pointed out that Jason wasn't there. But yeah, Dan takes that as his moment. He's going to jump on it.
And that working with actors has prepared him for Survivor.
Yeah, he made some broad, bold proclamations. He tells us Jason is done. It's over. He can't dig himself out of this hole. It's day 1, Dan. You think you're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
Uh-oh, Dan might be going home.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back over to the Purple Tribe, and Jack finds a clam out in the water. What do clams usually spit water like that?
I guess so. I don't have a lot of experience with them.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It knocked Molly over.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it knocked her over physically. It startled her enough it knocked her over. Yep. But I thought, oh, well, surely there's some meat in there. They can eat that, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they got fire, so they could cook it, too.
Yep.
So we find out that Jack wants Tommy.
Tommy is my person, he says.
Yeah, they're closest in age. And then Tommy's...
Which was really a segue for Tommy.
Well, here's the thing, though. I like Tommy, and it's good that he's building alliances. But he says he's building lots of alliances. Mm-hmm. And that can hurt you, too.
Yep, sure.
If everybody sees you running to everybody else.
Being able to make connections easily isn't always thought of as a great asset.
Yep.
But from Tommy's perspective right now, he's doing great. Everyone's coming to him.
So they kind of made an alliance, right? Molly, Tommy, Jack, Jamal, Lauren, and Dan.
Mm-hmm. There's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So who does that leave out? Noura? She wasn't in there, was she?
I don't know. Gotta kind of know the answer to that before you ask the question.
Well, I thought there were 7 though, but anyway, we'll go back and watch. We obviously didn't catch everything. Noura was very drawn to Jason. Good.
Yeah.
Because those are 2 of the people I'd like to see go off right away. Them and Kellee.
Yeah.
So that's working for me. Though I thought Noura was in with some of the people, but okay. So Noura breaks confidence with the tribe and tells...
Or with the core 7, yeah.
Yeah, tells Jason what they're saying about him. So she must have been in...
What did you think about her reasoning?
What did she say?
Well, she liked him because he reminded her of an old boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, an old boyfriend.
I thought, wow, there's a bit of gameplay from Noura right out of the gate. And
that's about what I expected.
It's a strange reason. I didn't see that coming.
I don't even know why I was surprised, because I just didn't think she was going to have game. Maybe I'm wrong, and she will later on, so that's just my
Our
judgment.
prediction was she was going to have an alienation game.
Yeah.
That she was going to have a hard time from that perspective. But yeah, she reaches out to Jason, and it leaves Jason tells us it leaves him mortified, and he's found himself now in a nightmare scenario where he's potentially the first to go.
Yeah, I think not, probably, but okay. We'll see. Time will tell.
Bouncing back over to Lairo, we find out that Elaine
is not wearing drawers. Thanks, Elaine. What a visual.
All about going commando, and she needs help remembering to wear her underwear when they go for a challenge. She's requesting assistance.
Obviously, I'm not sure she would care until she slid down one of those boards, and then she might care. But
what
I don't
did
know
you
why
think
they don't wear
about
more
the Ladies Alliance proposal at this point?
Oh, I was thrilled. They went there off the bat. But I don't know if it's going to last. I was hoping this tribe would, specifically, right from the get-go, because I thought they all
got the strong women
looked,
vibe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every one of them looked like really strong females. And so I was very hopeful for that. So I was thrilled when they did that, but I'm not sure if it'll last.
The catch with those things is that they tend to last about as long as that particular group of people are together.
Standing together.
Yeah. And as soon as they go their separate ways, it's for some reason the Women's Alliance becomes not viable.
Well, I can't blame them for looking for other ways as well, because you don't want to close any doors, because you don't know how things are going to go. You might rub somebody the wrong way, and then they're after you. So, and that alliance is over. So it's good to, I guess, to know. But I really would like to see that last.
It would be something for it to become viable, especially if they worked from that position. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. I hope it does last longer than this one brief fun moment that they had there.
Well, and Missy decides to tell Elaine about the 7-3 talk.
That she's been targeted. Yeah, Elaine says, whoa, that made my heart race. I'm not okay with going home right now.
Whoa, that I got to play a better game than this if I'm going to hang around. Okay, now back over to Vokai. Dan, was he cracking her back as well as massaging?
It looked like that might have been the case. Yeah, Janet's laying down on the ground, and he was working her back for sure, doing some massage, and was getting some elbows in there, all that. But then Kellee tells us that she is a germaphobe, which is her lead-in to telling us that Dan is getting too close to her.
I think I had read that somewhere, and she's just...
She's extremely not well-suited to be out there in this game.
She does not like other people's grossness.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, goodness.
This was a more interesting part, though, because this was all just the lead-in. It's like Janet's fine, Kellee's not, and that's okay. Everybody's got their different sense of space. But we hear Kellee saying Dan's a touchy person, and he makes me uncomfortable, which is big red flag alarm bells kind of talk. And then we hear Molly say, Dan is a very touchy person.
That's when I was really
makes me uncomfortable. It's like one, two.
Too touchy.
Yeah, and he has and both of them are saying he had no sense of personal space, which that kind of thing really annoys me too. I'm not keen on that either, so I totally get where they're coming from that perspective.
I mostly hug everyone.
But when you get two of the ladies saying, he makes me uncomfortable.
That's concerning.
Yeah, very concerning. And so Kellee and Lauren and Janet are talking, and Janet says, look, you got to go say something.
Yeah.
You don't let this linger in the background. You need to make sure the person understands it.
Give him a chance, at least.
Yeah.
And then if he continues to do it, then you're out.
Right.
I'm going to get the girls together, and you're out of here, dude. If but if I can talk to you openly and you don't hold that against me and you stop doing it,
right,
then okay, no problem. I can get that that's his nature. It's my nature. I'm a toucher. You are not usually a toucher. So.
Right.
But,
nor am I that keen on you being close to me to begin with.
Huh?
Not you personally. I
was going to say, excuse me?
We're sitting on each other right now, leaning into each other.
Yeah, but we always are. We're
That's
touching
different.
each other as
Right.
we're talking about.
That's different, though. I'm saying in general, I can relate to what they're saying. It's
if Dan or anyone else is rubbing my back, unless they're gross or smell bad, I'm there. I will throw myself down. I will remove my shirt, whatever. Get in there and get that elbow in my back. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you betcha. It's like, oh, yeah.
But Kelly's definition of what's okay and yours are completely different. She's worried that he's sweating on her.
Well, that would be
why
gross.
He would think it was okay to rest his head on her leg like that, uninvited. It seems a little off to me.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even occur to me to do. So yeah.
Well, definitely he couldn't sweat on me. No dripping sweat on
Okay, so really odd, weird moment there, but she does have a chat with him, and it looks like maybe he understands.
Yeah, he pretends to if he doesn't.
Dan's squinty. You can see it in his picture, and you can see it when they're showing him. He's a squinty guy, and when you're squinting at me all the time, I can't tell what you're up to. I can't tell if you're receiving the message or if you're angry or what. So Squinty Dan, I'm having a little trouble reading.
So you don't think he's self-aware enough to know that he's a squinter and that what he thinks he's communicating isn't necessarily what people are receiving from his face cues?
That's really hard to know. That's why I think to me, that's one of the biggest undiscussed elements of this, is that when you get put on the world stage like this, you could find out something about yourself that undoes you.
Yeah.
If you have the presence of mind, if you're seeking to better understand yourself, if that's part of your makeup. That's not everyone, obviously. But you could find out some things about your own ability and whether you can recognize and act on these things or not. I've often thought, man, that would be quite the task to wrestle with if you found out through the course of this that this is how you are perceived by others, and it had nothing to do with your reality, and it wasn't necessarily even remotely positive.
Well, his tone of voice was good. A lot of women get upset with tone of voice. Don't talk to me in that tone.
His word choice, though, seemed a little off. Like, I wasn't totally convinced that was message received.
Well, it does make me a little uneasy.
Especially when he was saying things about you liking me. That sounded confused to me. It might have just been how the conversation flowed and we only got just a bit of it. But he made it about liking me. And that seemed odd, given that we're talking about the touchiness and the space.
He should know at least by his 30s that everybody's not going to like you.
Yeah.
There'll always be people who don't like you. Somebody.
I would think he does.
Don't shoot for that.
But that's, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's also the whole
like yourself.
Dunning-Kruger conundrum, which is your awareness of a particular subject actually is lacking to a great extent, so much so that you don't really even remotely fathom what you don't know. And so you think you're an expert on something when you're not. Mm-hmm. That's the whole deal.
Well, it could be in his profession a rude awakening for him.
Possibly,
you might think a lot of people's more open.
I would have thought it would have had a more detrimental effect.
I would think so too.
But it's also in one of that's such a
especially in the current
hot
field
spot
of Hollywood.
Yeah,
right. It's like, don't go there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dangerous. So
it's hard to not think about any of that when you're watching this and thinking, wow, he has to have come across this within the last few years, given how things have shifted.
You would think so, but maybe he's just oblivious to it or something. Or just, I don't know.
It was odd. It was really odd, and I'm not sure what to make of it. But I'll say this. This is not a positive look at Dan.
Yeah.
There may be a redemption arc coming, but so far, this isn't building up to be a positive thing at all.
I would always be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. But if he stepped over any line, it would be like, if you put that arm anywhere near me again, I'll break it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to get violent if you don't respect my request. Because this is my space, that's your space, and you're invading my privacy here.
So I guess what we'll put it down to right now is that it's something to watch and be aware of.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think they would have spent this much time on it if it wasn't relevant
an issue, but,
to the story. Yeah.
well, but
as the
maybe
season
since they
goes
brought
on.
it to his attention, they did the right thing. And if he can let that go.
Under Janet's wise tutelage, I think they offered him ability to course correct.
Yeah.
And so, again, I saw this as a huge plus for Janet. So we'll see.
And if he can do that, it'll be a plus for him because
Sure.
I think they will let go of it now that they've spoken it out loud. And if he changes his behavior, I think they'll just let go of it.
All right, we're bouncing back over to Lairo. Day 2, Elaine's cracking them up again. And Ronnie, he sees a problem. He tells us that he is always about watching other players and what they bring to the game.
Elaine is making fun of her own weight and coming out with a little extra weight to feed her body with while she's being deprived. But then she's talking about the skinny boy Dean, and she's going to have to give him mouth to mouth. She cracked me up too.
Yeah,
so
she's a hoot.
I thought, oh, you are funny. And
Ronnie's worried that those elements that are making everybody laugh, though, that is a winner's story.
Could be.
Now, this next sequence of events was really good. So, Ronnie's he's gonna try to keep his enemies close. That's what he's doing. So he wants to talk to Elaine. So they go off to have a chat. And he tells us he's going to get rid of her, but he needs to make her feel safe. So he's going to have this moment. Unbeknownst to Ronnie, who hasn't learned anything since Miss Finland, evidently, Elaine calls him out immediately. She said, yeah, he's a weasel. He gets the weasel tag right out of the gate.
Think she said weasel. She said sleazy.
She said weasel.
Okay, I didn't hear weasel.
And she said he has to go, and she tells us her guns are drawn, and she's ready to draw.
I was so impressed with her.
Yeah, she came across great.
She had that nailed.
He thought he's working her.
Oh, yeah.
Putting her at ease, getting her ready to be sent to the slaughter, and she goes, weasel boy. All right, we'll go.
Yeah, you pretended. So far, I love Elaine.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's shown in an extremely positive light in this episode. You got people shown in a good light and people shown in a bad light. Okay, day 3, it's time for community challenge. Come on in, guys. So everybody's getting their first look. First look at Probst, first look at the tribes.
Finally get to see Jeff on day 3.
Yeah, Elaine was giving him a hard time, huh?
We thought you'd quit.
Yeah, thought you'd quit on us. Chelsea's talking about Island of the Idols, and not sure what that means, but they're so ready to go. What'd you think about this challenge?
And they get Flint as reward. Yeah. I like the challenge. It was a pretty tough first challenge right out of the gate there.
Very, very intense.
They cut them no slack on that one.
So they got to climb up a net, and then they got to crawl under some obstacles, which ended up to being a challenge for Chelsea.
Well, you forgot that rope, that getting down the other side of the wood after that net.
I didn't forget. I'm not there yet because I wanted to talk about Chelsea cracking her head. She cracked her noggin going under the obstacles on the way there. Before they before they have to slide down.
Well, that's true. And I think it was Elizabeth in front of her kicked her, I think, too.
Yeah.
So as she gets kicked, she bumps her head on one of the boards, and she was not faring well.
No, not at all.
Keep your head down.
Yeah, and then they have to slide down, and it looked like that was just some friction burns waiting to happen,
horrible.
Right? Into some sand.
And I don't know if they inserted those sounds like they were, it's
like it was taking skin off? Yeah.
That made me cringe.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a little too realistic, and I thought when Vince was coming down on his belly, I was like, roll, dude, roll.
Do like Jamal. Jamal handled it fine. He just rolled really. He smoothed Jamal. He did a roll down. But did Janet eat it? She ate it
man.
hard.
I'm afraid she hurt her neck.
Face first. Yeah, she's going to need a adjustment
chiropractor.
after
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Is there a chiropractor on the island, please?
And definitely filled her face up with sand. But did she let that slow her down? Not a beat.
Not even a little bit.
Not a beat. So she goes up for the next part where they got to throw the grapple out.
I'm like, oh, goodness, Janet, are you pushing too hard here,
can you
baby?
even see through all that sand?
Yeah.
Probst even calls it out.
She nailed it.
Yeah, first toss, she gets it. And they're pulling the logs up, working great together as a team, and they drop the platform down so that they can run over it.
Woo-hoo, Janet and Elaine.
Yeah, good job.
I'm liking them both.
Dean struggled for Lairo, and then Ronnie came up after Vokai had made it across. Ronnie came up, and he was able to get it hooked so they could get across, drop their platform, lower it, and
Ronnie
get across.
did something good.
He did. He had his moment right there.
That was a good thing. Okay. Then you were confused about once they got across tugged the rope and got across the platform, and you didn't think that they were going to have to climb over each other to get up there. And I thought, no, that's steeper than when they panned a little bit when you first came in. And you said, I don't think they're going to do that. Have to, and I said, yeah.
Well, you could see the challenge. Yeah, they showed a little bit of the first few beats of the challenge in a video that they released on the CBS YouTube channel that we watched. And when I saw it, I thought, wow, that's different. I wonder if that's from that, maybe that where they were standing on each other's shoulder building
a
human
challenge or something.
Yeah, but you said no, just wait. And sure enough, you were right. So there were some ropes hanging down, and so they both tribes did a good job of getting their folks up. I tell you, I'm pretty sure they missed out on something that would have made it a lot easier, though.
Me too. You're right.
So on the logs up there that the ropes were attached to, both tribes, the folks who got up there first, just threw the ropes down, and they were.
But there was a lot of extra rope they could have gotten to throw it all the way down.
Taken a few more beats, exactly. They could have made it so much easier on themselves, but they just didn't realize it in the moment.
Jack was still trying to pull people up when he could have thrown them the rope all the way down there if he'd have just
Probst called it a hero moment, but I think he missed the mental element of that. So he actually was the only one who went back down the rope to help his tribe get up there.
And they had such a lead, and yet the Orange tribe started the puzzle first.
Passed them, yeah. Got started on the puzzle, which were 7 huts. With large, heavy pieces that they had to assemble. There's multiple pieces and a roof that they had to put on there. And even though Lairo got a head start, who was it from Lairo that was working on it? It
was Vince, Chelsea, and Dean.
Yeah. And then Jamal, Noura, and Molly for Vokai. Mm-hmm. And they just got their rhythm going. And I think the Vokai tribe, their tribe mates were helping them a lot.
Yeah.
And Vince ended up disassembling the one hut that Lairo had
they had
put together.
One. Okay, it's 1
because
and 1.
They thought they had made a
2
mistake.
and 1, 3 and 1, and it got down to 7 and nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Took it apart.
Probst said it was a blowout. It's one of the worst first challenges
ever.
Yeah, blowouts that
Jamal
he had seen.
Was a beast.
He went into beast mode. Even his ability to move those huge, heavy puzzle pieces, you could tell that it was taking its toll on Vince and Chelsea. So,
and it had to have on Jamal too, because he was doing it by himself on a lot of that.
Right.
And you could tell they were really heavy, and Jeff said they were.
Yep.
And I thought, man, he really is a beast.
That's got to deflate you when you hear Probst say that's, the biggest blowout. Not even close. Lairo. All right, so he dismisses Vokai. They are safe and off, and then we get the introduction of the Island of the Idols. So he tells them, hey, it does exist, and now you're going to do a random draw to see who goes. I thought they were going to each draw, and it was going to be like, the person that drew the white rock has to go. But no, it ends up being Elaine draws.
Somebody draw a name.
One name out, and it ends up being Elizabeth. And so she is off to the Island of the Idols.
Yeah,
and
she's not happy about it, but...
Yeah, she even thinks that she's going to be there by herself because she's got no basis for what to think at this point. And And so she heads out for that.
Yep, and she thinks it could put a big target on her. The part I wouldn't like is not being there to get in on all the talks. Because you're right, it could have been her. They could have just said, well, she's not here, let's just go for her to be easy.
Yes.
But
Most trivial thing to do.
And somebody might have said that, but they also might have said, hey, maybe it's called Island of the Idols for a reason. We don't want to put her name out there. She plays an idol. And then we don't know who's going.
Then she gets to decide who goes.
That's right. So that might have been more of a deterrent than they showed us.
Could be. Yeah, I think there was something a little fishy with how that... We'll talk about that. We'll get there in just a minute. And she does return for tribal council, so...
Yeah, that's why she was like, oh, I can handle being out there alone. I thought, you'll be back in a few hours.
Yeah, I don't think that had sunk in yet.
Yeah.
She didn't really...
It's not like you're staying out there alone.
Right. Even
overnight.
more reason to suspect that
yeah.
she's basically going there to get an idol and bring it back. Yeah.
Okay, and here we go, Island of the Idols. She doesn't know what she's walking into, and here's these two massive statues, and she says, Boston Rob and Sandra, and I thought...
Someone told her that.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Because it just doesn't look like Boston Rob.
It looks like Sandra.
Yeah.
I can see Sandra in there. I can't see Rob anywhere. So, yeah.
I'm with you. I think she got a little help just to sell that moment.
That was a post voice clip or something. Hey, see this. Just to make it more viewable maybe, but I thought, there's no way she thought that was Rob. Come on. But then the real Boston Rob and Sandra show up.
Uh-huh.
And obviously she was in awe. And you know who she likes best because she went right for Sandra.
Yeah. Well, Sandra threw her arms up for a hug, so she kind of called her in.
And Rob said, come into our snug.
Yeah, come on up to our snug and we'll explain it.
Okay. But he didn't explain it, did he?
Yeah. He did. He explained how the Island of the Idols work and what their role is and how she's not playing against them and this is Survivor Boot Camp. He laid all that out. No, I
wanted him to explain why it was called snug.
You missed the point. What you're talking about. You're still stuck on snug.
So snug.
That's not the important part, hun.
Snug.
Let's move on.
Well, it's where my mind went.
Yep.
So I want to know what snug means. Okay. All right. Chelsea is just so excited. She's got chills.
Elizabeth, you've done this multiple times now.
I have. And I wrote Chelsea, too. That's why I said it. I looked at that and, okay, I'll change
Elizabeth,
my note.
yes. All right. So Boston Rob shows her how to make fire. And then she goes off to practice with Sandra. Should have given her a little warning that was kind of weird that she left him and went off and practiced with Sandra. Comes back, and now she's tested.
He set up 2, fire starter areas.
Right.
And tells her, okay, if you have the choice.
If you can beat me at making fire, then you can get an immunity idol that's good through the next 2 tribal councils. If you lose, you'll lose your vote.
And Sandra starts saying, what did your gut tell you? And I'm thinking, oh, honey, don't even go there. I know that you're on television and your instinct is, I can't not do a challenge. And I thought, you lose a vote.
I think they played her really well. Yeah. It was fun to watch.
Well, and it was
She's
a good
such
lesson.
a competitor. I don't know if she shared any of that with them, but they totally hooked her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. And that was perfect. They couldn't have sent anybody more perfect, right? Since she's an Olympian and used to doing challenges and pushed to do challenges, it'd be way harder for her to say no.
Right.
Than anybody else, really.
Well, I don't know. There's some other people there. Professional athlete, Tom.
Them too.
Ego.
Yes.
Ronnie, super ego. Dean, super ego. Aaron.
I think
they would have
said, no, I can't beat you.
No, I think he would have gone for
Keeping my vote.
Boston Rob would have worked him. Sandra, too. There's several of them that would have fell for it, But they made it a little cliffhanger. So they go to commercial and come back, and we're at Lairo there on day 3. And they're explaining, well, we're not going to place the blame on the 3 people who did the puzzle. So we're not going to make who's going about that.
No, because like you said, they were all giving input, which might have just made it harder. But anyway, they're talking about Elaine wants to go after Ronnie.
Because he's a weasel.
And isn't it interesting, though, that both sides were courting Vince?
Good job for Vince. Yep. Seemed like a positive moment. I went ahead and kept Vince as my USB. So with this short moment in the episode, I was thinking, hey, that's awesome. So he's like a potential swing. So.
I was a little disappointed in Karishma for being in on it and not.
You thought she turned on the women and on Elaine specifically, but I think she was saying what she felt like she needed to say in that moment.
Maybe, but she said privately after that, but I made an alliance with the women first. Like, geez. So at least she was looking at it, but I thought, yeah, if you go with them, you definitely broke the women's alliance. So are you willing to give that up?
Yeah, I didn't read what she said as being against Elaine there. I thought it was essentially pro-Elaine. I made this alliance with the women, and I'm with Elaine was essentially what she said.
We'll be watching it over, and we'll see what we think the second time around. Okay. And
Vince is all about trusting and protecting Elaine. So.
Yeah. Good on you, Vince.
Tom and Vince and Elaine are chatting, and Tom keeps trying to tell him they don't have the numbers, but I don't understand where his confidence is coming from. Why is he so sure that someone hasn't lied to him?
Well, he was obviously believing them.
And Elaine
being told.
has cause, and she tells us she's seriously worried. She's going to pray to stay, but it tells us it may not be God's plan for her. So she's recognizing that she may be headed towards a reckoning at this point.
Okay, we're back on the island of the idols, and Elizabeth doesn't think she can beat Rob, and I'm thinking that's good because you probably can't. But I'm a competitor, so she got to try.
What did you think about what Boston Rob said there, too?
What did he say there?
I was prepared to up the offer, but she didn't even counter me.
Yeah.
Didn't
he
even
was
counter
disappointed that she didn't even think.
I don't think she measured
that
up.
She didn't think
for either of them.
Yeah. To go there and try to up the ante. I don't know that I would have either in that moment. I would have just been like, oh, crap,
it's
what do I do?
It's pretty overwhelming.
What do I do?
A lot to take in.
Do I do it? Do I go against Boston Rob?
Unless you're used to bartering, it's probably not something that's going to occur to you.
I think my brain would have been so much in freak mode that I wouldn't have thought of anything else at that moment. So I know
exactly what I would have thought for me.
What?
To beat him would be such a great moment for me.
You would have your
There's
ego.
no way that I'm not gonna try it.
Your
That's
ego
exactly
would
from my personal
made
space
you have to do it.
and my limited knowledge, having made nowhere near the number of fires he has. I've made fire with magnesium and flint multiple times, but we're talking, maybe 10, 12 times total. But I totally
versus a couple hundred.
Right, exactly. So I would have gone, hey, there's no way I'm gonna pass up an opportunity to beat him.
And I would have cheered you on, babe.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So I can understand to a degree exactly why she made her choice, even though it didn't seem to be in her best interest at all. Because she seemed like she didn't have the first freaking clue about it, right? Mm-hmm. Like she had never done that before. Was that your sense
silly.
too? Well, that's on her, but we see
it.
people do that, and she's a recruit. So, to that degree.
Well, that's true. She was a recruit.
She wouldn't understand the significance.
Even a recruit. I just think it's nuts when they don't at least try to make it at home. Doesn't mean you can, but at least try, work on it a little.
Some people go out of their way to spend a little effort to do something.
Yep.
They'll spend more work to dodge it than they will to actually do it.
Well, I'm hoping, though, they didn't show us this. I hope Rob would have said something like, did you ever even think about holding out?
No.
And,
that's not on him.
He didn't give her that.
No. He
didn't teach her that.
No, I don't think she earned it.
Teach her.
She didn't earn it.
Yeah, true.
She got exactly what she put into it. 3, 2, 1, go. And Elizabeth actually got fire. Hey, to her credit in her practice. She got a flame, but
Sandra was coaching her. But
she wasn't ready to take advantage of it, so it went out. And then Boston Rob wins. Big surprise.
Well, I like Boston Rob was like, what were you thinking going against me?
It got a little hard, didn't it?
Gut.
Didn't she look like she'd been punched a little at that point?
Yeah.
She looked beat down.
I think she thought they expected her to step up for the challenge and not to back away from it.
Right.
Even if she couldn't win.
That's why that's how they were egging her on.
Then they were saying, and even Sandra, hey, you got to listen to your gut out here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just do it because there's an opportunity always. You have to really weigh that. And, but I thought, oh, he could have gone the other way if she hadn't done it. What? You're not going to take a chance to get this?
Well, that's when they have license to offer more, too.
Yeah,
that's the other way that you could end up getting a better offer.
Yeah.
Is by just turning them down.
If she'd have refused it. And then he said, okay, well, what if I make the idol good for the next 3 tribal councils?
She looked humbled to me after that process. Either that or she was hurt. I'm not quite sure, but I was thinking humbled.
Yep. Well, it is.
What did you think about the next step?
About she had to choose from a bag of names from who was coming from the other tribe.
Right.
Cool.
Interesting, huh?
So this was just to get it kicked off. So now it won't necessarily be someone from the losing tribe anymore.
Is that the case?
Yeah. If purple wins, that's still the person will go next time.
Because I didn't see that was actually the way that was going to work. But okay, interesting.
Well, that's the only thing I could deduce from that.
Well, they did say in the parade article where they were talking about the specifics.
It would be different all the time.
That it would change and be different. So I see what you're saying, yeah. That makes more sense than having them pick the name not knowing when they would lose.
Well, that never even entered my mind, if you want to know the truth.
Uh-huh. I like that you feel the need to say it and say it that way with that tone.
That never entered my mind.
Uh-huh.
So,
there's a good example of tone.
Sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Tone.
All right.
I like
Foolish mistake, Elizabeth says. Lesson learned.
Okay, so now she's got to come up with a plan, what to say and what to tell and, all of that when she gets back, too.
Yep, but before she's back, we are back at the Lairo camp there on day 3, and Elaine's talking to Tom, and she keeps telling him, look, it's me, I'm in trouble. And he just keeps saying the same thing. They don't have the numbers.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Yep, you're okay. She's like, Tom, I'm still not feeling confident. Well, I like that Aaron at least said, but Elaine, you're an awesome person and you're close to everyone. That's why you're the target you're so good.
Mm-hmm. And what do you like about that?
I like that had she gone home, she would have gone home with something that said, oh, well, at least they voted me out first because they took me as the biggest threat. You still go home and it still sucks. But at least, she said she felt better. That's why they targeted her, not that they didn't like her.
Yeah, so, hey, to her credit, she faced it. She went towards it after that talk with Tom. So she came up to Aaron and Tom and Ronnie and Chelsea while they were talking, and she confronted the issue.
I'll make a deal. I'll vote for anybody you tell me to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be loyal. I don't know what else she could do, but... And Ronnie and Aaron
But you didn't view her in a negative light. You didn't view her as potentially turning on the Women's Alliance, even though she basically just said, yeah, I'll vote for Missy. Yeah, I'll vote for Elizabeth. It didn't have that same negative effect that Karishma did, huh?
I don't think so, no.
Even
she was
though
fighting for her life.
She was even more clear about her willingness to vote for them than Karishma was to vote
but I
for
didn't
her.
believe it. I didn't think she would.
Mm-hmm.
Necessarily.
I didn't either. I think that's absolutely the right thing to say. But I've been waiting to ask you this because this was more definitive.
You're trying to trap me.
No, I'm not trying to trap you, but this is a difference.
It is a difference. It's very different in my mind.
Well, it's just a difference in your approach. And I got that. That's why I wanted to call it out. I don't think it's that different.
They're under fire. It's do or die.
Mm-hmm.
So you offer anything and everything, even if you vote out your best friend.
But
if you're
Karishma
trying
had no
to stay
reason
in
to
the
know
game.
otherwise at that point. It could have just as well been her.
Why aren't you defending Karishma?
I'm not. I'm just calling out how you
Nah.
looked at the two of them and you saw Karishma more negatively than you did Elaine.
Yep.
Even though
I did.
Elaine was more definitive about how willing she was to go against the Women's Alliance.
She had to be.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so
Honey,
necessarily.
We're not going to agree. Let's move on. We can agree to disagree. It's fine.
All right. Aaron tells us after Elaine walks off that it's either Vince or Elaine. Now I'm bummed again. At this point, I'm convinced I'm losing points for sure, given who I had safe and who I had going.
I do have to say, it was also nice that this episode really had you emotionally fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it a really intense
The general you
episode for you. No, for you
me?
personally.
Oh, okay. Because of my JSFL picks.
Yeah, you're like,
Yes.
hold on, let's move. Hold on, let's move. Hold on, let's move.
Uh-huh.
It was just funny to watch you
Okay.
because you were emotionally all over the place.
Now Elizabeth is back. Well, you're trying to read the tea leaves. Yeah.
I know.
Elizabeth's back, and she tells us that she hates lying, but she's gonna have to lie here.
A big lie.
What did you make of this? Do you think she
said
had
you
to
didn't
lie?
think. Yeah, I thought she should lie for now.
Uh-huh.
And I think Sandra and Rob really, they don't want them to tell.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I think she shouldn't show her hand too soon. Because it's too early to know who you really trust.
It doesn't
with the
serve
information.
the story arc, so I can see why they didn't show much more of this, but I don't think it went as clean and clear as it was presented.
See, I didn't see that, and I didn't feel that. I thought it was pretty good
You're
because
like,
they've done that
she
before.
does the 3 earned story.
Oh, the 3 earned story, and you
And
got
you
one that
lose.
says you lose, you don't get the opportunity to play a game, and that's it. Bye bye.
She took a big risk because this is going to
Sure.
come back to hurt her if she's there when the truth comes out about Island of the Idols.
So you grin and smile and go, and that's all you can do.
And then people go, hey, you made that choice. You're
Hey, she
untrustworthy.
lied to us.
Yeah, and now it's time for you
Well,
to go.
but she can honestly say it was day 3 people.
And you must have an idol because you chose to lie
Don't
about it.
know you.
I think the threat, like you were pointing out earlier, the threat of her having an idol
Yeah.
would have caused there to be much more discussion
Oh,
than
that
what
would
we
have
were
totally
shown.
been on my brain.
Yeah.
Hey, Island of the Idols. Come on, people.
And Elizabeth tells us at this point she becomes the most popular girl in camp. Everyone wants to have a chat with her.
Everybody wants to talk to her.
And Aaron tells her that it's either Vince or Ronnie or Elaine.
Well, and pretty much everybody knows and that until after at least the first vote on a tribe, you don't really know if you can trust anyone in what they told you.
And the reality of that is you only
They show you by their vote.
know whether or not you trusted them in that moment because you might as well hit the reset button after that moment's over.
Well, that's true too, but
You'll have some history to go on, but it won't
but
necessarily
it
mean
does
anything.
affect people that
Sure.
oh, you lied to me really well and then you didn't do what you said, so now I really got to look at that.
Certainly weighs into how
But
you deal with them going
I
forward.
thought she handled it way better than you didn't think she handled it well, so
No, and I can't believe that the only reason that they didn't show her getting her chops busted a little on that or someone having a discussion about it was because it wasn't relevant to the greater story.
no, and they didn't have enough time, even with 90 minutes.
Okay, we're off
Okay.
to tribal council. They're on night 3.
Rob and Sandra showed up. You didn't even see that.
Fire
did you?
represents life. No, I did see someone ducking in, and then you said it was them, and I was like, that makes sense. So I didn't see
Yeah.
it was them. I was taking a note, writing fire represents life, as they snuck into their little overlook hut there above tribal council. So they get to observe. They'll be able
I
to.
don't think it's an overlook, is it? Don't they just listen?
No, it's above them. It's
Oh.
above, sitting higher up above the tribal council.
And you think they
look
can
down
see
on
them?
it? Uh huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
thought,
because of
that's kind
it
of
wasn't
cool.
the blind wasn't perfect. You could see through the slats up there where they were sitting.
Well, this way I think they can judge a little more what goes on at tribal and who does what, and
How better for the gods of Survivor?
to plan what they need to work on.
Yeah, to and
The general
to be
people.
part of being able to observe that from on high.
I bet they're
It works
taking
with the
notes.
Survivor gods mythology. This whole thing, and that part's working really well.
It's like, that person, I
Those
believe,
two don't take notes.
if
huh?
they show it, I think they
They're
will.
not
when,
the type of
when they
people
go
who
back
take
to
notes.
camp.
Not physical
they
notes, mental
registered it
notes.
in their-
Yeah, mental notes.
Well, I can't trust mental notes.
It's like, I like this person, I don't like this person.
No, I think they will keep kind of a record of, wow, we're going to have to teach them better than that. Or this is the challenge we're going to put before that person if and when they show up.
So you might recall in the Jabbing Part 2, I said something to the effect of, I wonder if they're going to let them see tape of what's going on. And so this is even better. They get to be there.
Yeah, they get to be there.
To observe from on high.
You feel the energy more.
If they're doing the same thing in the challenges too, that especially if they end up influencing some element of a challenge, if that's part of one of the the deals that could come up, then I would expect them to be there to get to see it play out.
Cool. All right, let's move on.
All right, fire represents life. Get your fire, good to go. The gods are watching.
Elaine tells Jeff right off, I get along with everyone naturally. I just do, but...
That's turned out to be a problem, and now I'm on pins and needles.
And Karishma agrees. She's likability is a liability.
Good line, Karishma.
So, and Elaine's comeback was, but why on day 3? Why can't you give me a chance?
Put a pin in the calendar on day 20, she said.
Let
me work a little bit before you cancel me out for my great story and awesome social game. It seems like she's done, though.
Yeah, I think she was putting it on. I think she was deliberately, that she was pretty confident that she had the numbers at that point. But I think she was putting it on, but she was going to cry and do that just in case
everyone
she needed to
has
get
to Yeah, and you never really know. There's what people say, and then there's what they do when they go up to vote. The other thing, though, is you got to feel a little done. Because what everyone on your tribe's just told you is that you're a huge threat because of your social game.
You're just too likable, girl.
And you've got a winner story.
And we are not letting you get to the end.
Wow, they just really, she's got a big hole to work herself out of
she does.
from the perspective of this tribe.
And all Ronnie had to contribute was that...
keep the tribe strong.
Don't get rid of a big guy.
Ronnie. Way to go, Ronnie.
I thought, okay, if that doesn't pull you women together...
You don't deserve your alliance. Yes. Yeah, and Elaine tells us that she's devastated. Yep, the larger journey and the pain caused. And you know what I really liked about this, too?
Build me up, not tear me down.
This is, because you hear Elaine say it, and you hear Ronnie say it, and he just, hits this long list of all the jobs he's had and all the different things that he's worked through, because he said he's had similar hardships to her. Didn't necessarily sound like hardships. It sounded like someone kind of bouncing around. But anyway, so you get to hear Elaine say this, you get to hear Ronnie say it, and you get to hear Vince, because Vince is like, I'm targeted too. So even though nobody asked me a question, I'm going to jump in here and say, we all have a story, and here's mine, by the way, and I break down.
Well, I think he was doing that, almost as a jab to Ronnie, because Ronnie was trying to appear empathetic to Elaine, believing that she was going. And I think it kind of flopped. I just didn't...
His didn't have the same tone or feel to it.
Didn't have the right tone. There you go.
But the bigger takeaway for me was, everybody's got a story. It's just like Vince is saying. Yeah. So,
and it's going to be a heartbreaker for everyone.
Everyone. So, this is kind of a wash.
Yep.
I don't know. You don't really have a point and, cry or sob or whatever like Elaine and Vince did. And I think that was calculated on Vince's part.
They're trying to make them believe it because...
And there was no tears that came when she made like she was crying. So, I don't doubt that she felt things intensely.
Well, Vince did make me wonder when he said, well, I want to support Elaine, but it might hurt my game.
Right. Gameplay.
I thought, oh, you are just
You devil.
stirring the pot.
Setting the hook. Yeah.
Aaron, cropped in.
It's going to have an
which
impact.
Was the other person that was clueless as to the real vote. And he's like, well, it's really hard to vote people out. And I thought, yeah. And I'm sure that it is. That would be hard for me, too.
I did like Sandra's endorsement of my boy Vince. She did say she liked me. Oh, that's a good one. He's good.
I
like him.
And
that's when we got the title, too.
Yep. Rob said, is it hard for you, Sandra? And she,
No.
I vote you out. That's it.
Yeah.
I thought, of course she got the title.
Yeah.
That was cute. I liked that, actually.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it gave them something, but it just took a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Interjected a little humor in there.
Yeah.
And we all know that Sandra would do that. She said, no, I'll cut your throat and move on because that's my $1 million and I'm going after it.
Right. So I wanted to say here, I like the music, the chant. I wish I knew what they were saying. That would probably make it even better. Hopefully
the music was lovely.
When they were
I don't
voting.
know what it was.
Yeah, and I really like the pen. This is the first time I thought, that's an awesome pen because it looks like one of those South Pacific warrior clubs with the shark teeth. And it looks like it would be an uncomfortable pen to have to maneuver around, but I did like the style of it.
Well, we have to go back and look because I didn't get to see it. I was making a note.
But you've seen those war clubs before that the South Pacific Warriors have, and they got the big shark teeth embedded in them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a little mini version of that.
So, were you surprised that Elaine didn't get a vote?
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute.
Well,
Vince,
the first one comes
Ronnie,
up for Vince, and I was
Vince, Ronnie.
To your point about my emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that got you good. And I was like, oh, it's Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's Ronnie. Come on, it's Ronnie.
But I had Elaine safe. I had Ronnie safe. And I had Vince as my USB. So I was going to lose no matter what.
Yes, but I wasn't.
You had Ronnie being voted out.
I had
out.
a chance.
Yes. So we got to celebrate that.
Yeah.
Good job.
That was fun. Okay, so Jeff only read 8 votes.
Mm-hmm.
2 for Vince, 6 for Ronnie.
Yeah, you did
and
good
we know
picking
there's
up on this.
10 votes. So nobody's going to know Elizabeth didn't have a vote.
Had perfect cover. Yep.
Yep, totally.
Good job. Good job picking up on that.
So non-issue.
Prope's declaration, a devastating blindside for Ronnie.
But how did you like Vince's little smile that he gave?
That's a little bit of a gloat. Yeah. I was like, don't do that so early. Don't let someone see you.
Yeah, go for it.
But he snuck one in there.
Yep. Elaine looked back, which made me think she knew all along that it wasn't going to be her. But
a lot of votes not to think that you might have had a chance at a blind side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't ever know for sure. But so all of the people that got that correct will get a 2-point first off bonus.
Right. Get an extra point for getting that first one right.
Ronnie blindsided. He was not happy, and he said he was blindsided. And I thought, well, after all the times he said, oh, no, I read people really well. Yeah.
Poker players and Survivor, they don't go together. When you see it in the cast, you look at that person, you go, oh, you poor throwaway.
And you're
there to be disposed of early.
They think they got it.
Yeah, sure.
I got this. I'm used to reading people. And I don't doubt that he does, other than...
Well, he read Elaine right. He read her as the threat.
He did.
He just decided to face off with her, and he gave her a chance to see him in weasel mode.
But what he doesn't see is if people are working him, or if he sees if they're working you, he still bought whatever they told him.
Well, I think that's because Elaine was acting from a place of sincere fear, and so he thought he had her. He thought she was done.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen the video of the Ms. Finland really bluffing him out of a huge hand in poker, then you have to watch that, because I just after I saw that, I was like, it really colored my opinion of what he could do.
The only thing, I forgot to mention it. The only thing I thought that it might have been helpful is like for you to be humbled and to be humbled in such a public way, because that video's been seen millions of times.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that could help someone course correct and adjust, and then not be so.
Well, see, I watched a second
overconfident
video of him playing, and they all nailed him on the. They were just jokes abounding at the table.
That's what I
about
mean,
Miss Finland.
He would have to be humbled a bit after that, but it didn't seem to serve him at all. He just thought he was right in poker playing. I'm observing people, and I see Elaine making all these connections, and she's the big threat. So I'm gonna make her feel confident, and then I'm gonna cut her out.
And you can't vote out a big, strong guy like me. New survivor, honey.
So
New
what's
survivor.
the yeah, he wouldn't know, right? What do you think the takeaway is? Is the Women's Alliance really there?
Don't know. I don't think there's any.
Because there were only two people that weren't clued in on the vote.
Exactly. So
Ronnie and Aaron. And you could tell Aaron was shocked. Ron did not know what was going on.
Nope, he did. And now that you say that, next time on Survivor,
Okay.
Aaron still does. He's not going to trust anybody now. He tells Missy that he's not going to be fooled again, and he don't trust nobody.
Fool me once. Yeah. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame
and I
on
thought,
me.
well, okay, have your moment, but then you better let it go, or you're going to follow behind. Because, yeah, you're a big guy, but there's a lot of strong people.
I got to tell you, that ain't the way to handle it, Aaron.
Nope. So
That
hopefully he'll get a grip.
You humble yourself and you go back and you go, look, yeah, okay. I clearly did not know what was going on.
I gave up being with my son for this.
You're my tribe. No, I don't think it was that.
No, but he does
he's heading
have
in that
pictures.
direction.
He does have pictures of his son on his socks.
Yeah, that seems
Which
like
is
it could be a
kinda cute.
distraction, but yeah, a constant visible reminder. But
Yeah. Or it may be comforting.
in any case, he didn't seem to have a good positive response to being notified that he was an alliance of one now. He needs to be scrambling, repositioning himself, trying to find someone to work with. Instead, he's telling Missy that I don't trust anyone. Okay, I get that's what you're feeling, but winners don't win by saying things like that.
Well, they didn't address the Orange tribe that much. Everything else was on the other tribe, on the Purple tribe.
Kelly's got
And-
some heartache. She's suffering, and Noura's
Yes, and Jeff tells
comforting her.
blindsides and heartaches can make you go insane.
And at the insane part, we get Noura cackling, and she's talking with food in her mouth, which I hate.
She comforts Kellee, and there's other people around
She's yelling
too.
and getting
When
all
Kelly's-
bug-eyed.
Oh yeah, I
I
thought,
liked what you said. She does. I see it now every time I see her. She does
it was
her.
a certain picture that they showed before, and you paused it on that, and I went, "Oh my gosh,
She looks like the Grinch.
Jim Carrey in the Grinch."
She does.
It did. It really
Yeah.
did. And I've never even watched that movie. But
There
I've
was
seen
not a single element they showed in Next Time on Survivor that was a positive depiction of Noura there,
Well,
other than her comforting of Kellee.
They were screaming, "Nora's going home! Nora's going home!" Though
Yeah.
now it makes me think, oh, they're playing with us.
Yeah,
Nora's
probably.
not going home. I wish that were true, but Nora's not going home.
We'll see. She's
We'll see.
definitely going to be a factor.
Hi, Zed. Oh, he's coming to you, Daddy. Okay.
Anything else you want to say about Next Time on
Let's
Survivor?
see. I wonder who she's talking to about. She's eating coconut, and she's telling somebody, well, go pick up some coconuts the next time you go on your walks. So somebody must have been giving her some grief, maybe, about eating so much coconut or something, you think? Who would do that?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's making you think that she's definitely going, but
That she's not getting along. Yeah.
yep. Okay, got anything else?
Nope. How about a
All right.
JSFL update?
17 people got a vote out point, so that means they're tied in first place in JSFL.
Nice.
28 people lost their USB 24.
Whew. That hurts out of the gate.
It does. 65 people, including Stacy, lost a safe point.
Risk takers.
Yep.
I feel your pain.
Okay. Side challenge. With 6 points, Cold Mike and Jay Kindred. With 4 points, Brandon, Carl, Carolyn, Jack, James and Shannon, Jeremiah, Jonathan, Justin, Parker, Randy, and Rebecca. And with 3 points, Chris, Drew, Slappy McGee, and Stacy.
All right. We're the basement crew.
Yep.
All right.
So
well,
far.
we're just building a strong foundation for our game,
There
conserving
you go.
so that we'll have save points available later. I'm sure they were thinking much like myself with that high risk kind of gameplay.
Okay. I'm going to read the cast and how many people chose them for their USB.
Yeah,
24.
for their Ultimate Survivor bonus, who they think is going to win before the season started. So, who was the number one pick?
Tummy.
All right, very popular.
Yeah,
fourth
Tommy
grade teacher,
with
Tommy.
60 points. Or 60 people.
60 people think he's going to win right out of the gate. Okay.
Molly, which is my USB, got 48.
Okay.
Chelsea with 28. Ronnie with 28.
Whew.
Ouch.
And gone.
Elizabeth, 23. Missy, 23. Jamal and Jason with 19. Really, Jamal and Jason. Lauren with 18. Dean with 15. Elaine with 13. Vince with 12. Kellee with 11. Jack, 10. Aaron, 9. That kind of surprises me. Noura, 5. Dan, 4, Tom, 3, Janet, 3, and in the bottom position, Karishma with 2. So if you win, boy, you got big points and only 2 of you to compete. All right.
So what's your takeaway? Who are you most impressed by?
In what sense? Gameplay, just opinion.
Gameplay.
I don't know that I've seen enough to know all their gameplay, but
Okay, general presence. Since you just discounted that and said you don't have enough to work on.
No, but you can say what you think. Who?
I was really impressed by Janet. She was bold in her choices. That putting herself out there to make fire, even when she didn't necessarily need to do it, but she delivered. She delivered in the challenge. And
so you're calling that her gameplay? Okay, all right. That's true.
Because that factors into her game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I am still, after I listened to the interviews, I could see what people were saying about Molly, and I thought immediately when I listened to the interview, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to find somebody else. But then when I looked through, I just thought, I think I'm just going to go with my first instinct.
We both struggled
a lot. We both said, we don't know.
Trying to figure, there's no one that's standing out.
I
really wanted to go with Jamal. That was the other one that was really calling me.
Yeah, me too, but I thought, I do not believe he can get there.
So hard for a big physical presence, and it just seems unlikely that there's going to be a meat shield alliance that gets formed to give him enough cover to get there.
Loved Janet or Elaine, but I also thought, well, that could be a long shot to get to the end.
Elaine,
I thought they could both go deep.
Elaine looks like she's got a really long road to hoe now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got everyone out of the gate talking about how you're a threat to win, and you just don't want that. That's just such an awful place to be, on go. And it's because she's gets along with everyone really well.
And you can't turn around and, act ugly and to try to counter that.
That's exactly what she said.
That doesn't work either.
Yeah. So I guess, I liked Elaine, how she came off. I really liked Janet. I think Vince did okay presenting himself.
He did better than I thought he would.
Let's flip it around. Who do you think's in trouble? Give me off Lairo. Who's in trouble? You think Vince is still in trouble? Think Elaine's still in trouble right now?
They could be. I think Aaron's in the
You're
biggest
supposed
trouble
to think
right
that
now.
Aaron's the most likely person.
But
He's
I
the
think
odd
he
man
can-
out for sure.
If he settles down and he can come back from that. But I don't think Dean's playing that well. I thought he would physically play way better than he has.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he did well in either part of the challenge. He couldn't get the thing hooked.
Yeah.
And
that's not
they
him
didn't
throwing
do
it
well
either.
on the
I think he
puzzle.
would have liked to have done
oh
it,
no,
especially
he would have loved to be the hero.
because he got shown up by Janet.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yep.
To his credit, he stepped away. Some people
Eventually,
don't have the
yeah.
good sense to step back
True.
and let someone else have a try when it's not working for
Yeah.
them.
So.
Okay, Vokai, who's in trouble? You got two that are just screaming out at you.
Oh well, Noura and Kellee, and for sure, and Jason. Those are the three.
Jason and Dan, due to the content of the
well,
episode,
them two.
are screaming out
But
that
I
they're in
think
trouble.
Kellee and Noura are going to be in trouble.
You didn't get much
Next
to
week.
say that about Kellee, but yeah, the next time on,
Yes, but
Kelly's
I
having some
thought
kind
it
of crisis.
from day one.
Yeah,
That's why.
I was really asking based more on what you'd seen in the episode, if that wasn't clear.
Well, then you're going to have to learn to articulate better.
I see. I don't doubt that you would say whatever you wanted anyway, regardless of how I articulated.
true.
But
That's
sure, we'll go with
Kind
that.
of say what I think, and so. Okay, definitely. I think Dan's good for now, as he's big, strong guy and all that. As long as he can dial the whole touch-feely back and be sensitive, and he seemed to receive it well. So if he can keep along that vein, I think he's okay for now. And Jack, well, he was a rock star, so.
Yeah, he was a standout too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Probst even called him a hero when he went back down the rope to help his tribe come
Jamal was the beast.
up. Yeah.
And Janet, she was awesome too. So, Lauren, but I did like Molly and Tommy as well. But that hadn't changed. I liked them. I wasn't that my final four: Tommy, Molly,
Who do you think
Jamal,
is going
and
to go
Janet.
next? Is Vokai going to go on a streak here?
I think they will. I think that's just a misdirect. That they're not even going to lose.
So it's going to be purple crushing orange again, according to
Because,
Joanne.
you know why I say that? Not because they're purple, but because they worked well as a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely got some synergy.
Though they didn't, they weren't perfect. They didn't get up that steep hill as efficiently as the other one did. But they did overall well as a tribe. And the other tribe didn't seem to work quite
Okay,
as
I
well
got a
together.
curveball for you.
Oh, geez.
What if because the next challenge is going to be a combo too, right? It'll be immunity reward, typically.
Okay.
What if it's a water challenge and it involves swimming? You still think Vokai's going to win? Because you got Elizabeth.
Well, that's true.
I mean, I know
But that's
Janet's
only one part of it.
Janet's a lifeguard. What if it's like the critical part?
I can't see that. They always end with the puzzle in these early,
Yeah,
big,
but
monstrous
what if she
things.
gives them such an amazing lead?
They
that-
had a lead this time.
Okay.
So, no, I think I'm going to stick with it because they got Janet. Janet can swim.
Yeah, but swimming as a lifeguard isn't the same as swimming as an Olympic swimmer.
Tommy's tall. He could swim.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know who all the swimmers are, but, he's a lot I don't know. Chelsea's pretty big. Elizabeth, I don't know why I've started doing that. Anyway, I do think Elizabeth would do a good job with that. Of course, that's her thing. But I don't know. I just feel like they might lose again.
All right. And then so Lairo loses. Who's going? Is it Ron? Is he out of here? He not going to recover because he's a hothead? Holds a grudge?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a possibility, but it's certainly not guaranteed. Because he is a big guy, and they might switch everything up again. And I still think that Vince and Elaine could also still be, and Tom, still be in a little jeopardy. But if Aaron continues to be angry and not trust anyone, then yes, he's out.
All right. There you have it.
Well, what are you saying? Who's going?
Aaron's next to go.
Okay.
Anything else before we check out?
I'm good.
90 minutes. Was it good?
It was good.
Enjoyed it? Yeah.
I want 90 minutes every week.
Time. Well, come on. Let's just go ahead and add 30 more because it seemed like the commercials were longer. So let's get 2 hours.
Don't be greedy.
Okay. Well, you got your 90. I want 120. You do you, I'll do me.
Okay.
There we are. All right.
And we neither have any control.
Yeah. We're looking forward to hearing what you thought about the premiere episode and who you think's doing well, who came off better than you expected, who do you think's in jeopardy as we're going forward. The voicemail number's 206-350-1547. Toll free if you need it, 844-643-8737, or you can write it up and send it as an email or record your own and send it as an attachment and we'll get it in the show. Don't worry about your ums, your ands, your likes, your buttas and so's and anyways. I'll take those out and make it nice and tight, but we're looking for 3 minutes of content. So it's a little less than a page if you're writing it up, or if you're recording it. Well, just keep that in mind.
Okie dokie.
All right, have a good one.